I mean, Mustafa's bond was revoked. Mustafa was denied bond because they said, "Oh, we have to get a lip reader." The lip reader. If I get a lip reader,
she's gonna say Dorothy's
gonna say
no empresses
in the car. Okay. Well, why do you need a lip reader if you have the audio? Your police department is telling you in the documents that this dash camera has audio.
But they didn't tell Mustafa's attorney that this dash camera did have audio, that the officers
it's illegal.
The officers reviewed it. They didn't tell him until months after bond hearing. Months after the bond.
It's illegal for a prosecutor to withhold exculpatory evidence.
It's a Brady violation.
But it's a Brady violation. But what does Judge Weimer do? He sees it, and he seals off the body cam for the prosecutor. As a matter of fact, they take it further and put it all over NBC4. Not only that they have to get a lip reader, and the lip reader is now saying no Empress is in the car, that they never talk about the audio. They take it further and say Mustafa threatened a correctional officer inside the jail. Well, let's talk about that for 2 seconds. The lawyer subpoenaed the CCTV inside the jail. The lawyer subpoenaed any material that involved with the incident. They claim on April 5th, Mustafa threatened a correctional officer. Now, why is it?
Well, before you go into that,
yeah.
So Mustafa was granted bond in April.
Yep.
The judge said $5,000 bond.
He watches the dash camera. He listens to the audio conversation that this investigator lied about Mustafa.
Watches the dash camera.
And he grants Mustafa a $5,000 bond.
He looks at everything. This judge looks at everything in this case, and he grants Mustafa a $5,000 bond. Now imagine 6 felony counts, and the judge looked at the evidence and said, "Give this man his bond," and he issues a $5,000 bond. Okay, the prosecutor is so angry when this judge rules. She's so angry that she tells the judge, she says, "Your Honor, I'm going to appeal this decision. I'm going to appeal it to the Court of Appeals." Okay, and the judge says, "Okay, you can do that, but I've already given my order. I've already given him $5,000 bond. If you want to appeal it, I mean, she can take it up to a higher court." Okay, and then she is so angry that she's arguing with the judge, back and forth, arguing. And she tells him, "Judge, the Commonwealth attorney is not going to be happy
What does that mean?
with you about this decision."
What does that mean? What does that really mean?
It's literally a threat. She threatened the judge that if he gave this order, that he was going to have problems with the Commonwealth attorney, that they're going to have problems. And the judge is hesitant, but then he orders a 1 week stay. This was on a Friday, and he says, "Okay, we're going to reconvene next Friday, and you're going to tell me how long it's going to take for the Court of Appeals to hear your appeal." That's all that it was. She was going to come in on Friday and tell the judge, "Your Honor, it's going to take X amount of months for the Court of Appeals to hear my appeal." That's all she was supposed to do, is update the judge how long it's going to take for her appeal to be heard at the Court of Appeals. That's all she was supposed to do. We go in Friday, and this prosecutor comes in, and she's accusing Mustafa that a month ago, and think about it, this is 7 days later, she's accusing Mustafa, a month ago, he threatened a correctional officer. Your Honor, Mustafa threatened a correctional officer a month ago. He told the correctional officer that you're not going to get away with this, and that I'm going to find you, or I don't know what she said. She alleges that Mustafa told the correctional officer that he was going to find her information and he was going to put her on the internet. That's what she alleges. That this happened a month ago. But I mean, now she didn't talk about this 7 days prior during his bond hearing. She didn't bring this up. She didn't bring up any incident from the jail 7 days prior. And then the judge all of a sudden says, bond denied. I'm reversing my decision and I'm taking away the bond. And we're thinking, okay, hold on a second. Judge gives a bond, okay, and then a week later, this prosecutor comes up with this BS accusation that Mustafa threatened a correctional officer a month ago, and now the judge is taking away his bond. You know, like when you BS us, at least make it like
Let's make it sense. You want to
make it believable when you give us some BS.
You want to tell me that you have evidence that you're coming home, you're coming out on bond, and you're going to turn around and threaten a correctional officer only for them to bring you back into jail? I mean, Mustafa.
If
Mustafa was
if
beaten,
that was
Mustafa
true,
was beaten,
if that was true,
abused,
if that was
denied medical,
if that was true,
inside the jail.
if that was true, why did she not talk about it
Exactly.
on the day he had bond?
Exactly. Why did you have to wait 7 days for you to bring this up? Now the lawyer at the time appealed it, and he subpoenaed the CCTV camera from the jail and any material that shows the incident. Just so everybody knows, every body cam, every audio, every document in Mustafa's discovery that is sealed by Judge Weimer, I have them on a flash drive. I have them, and I'm releasing them. I'm talking about them, and when I tell you that the CCTV camera inside the jail is subpoenaed, it's in the discovery. But what I find interesting, the incident started at 9:30. Correctional officer entered Mustafa's cell, beat Mustafa, stepped on his Quran, violated his religious items at 9:30. I have the audio recording of the hearing that took place after the incident with correctional officer. So I have the audio, I have the document. This incident took place at 9:30. Now this is exculpatory evidence. The lawyer subpoenaed the camera inside the jail. Why is it that in the discovery they only released the camera at 10:15? Only after correctional officer went in, beat Mustafa, stepped on his Quran, religious items, and then at 10:15 began to give him his items back.
And they never wrote him up that day.
They never wrote him up that day. They wrote him up 24 hours later because we were protesting on April 5th outside the jail. And we made the videos that when we went live in front of the jail when we were protesting, these videos went viral and the community was listening to us talk about Mustafa's religious item get violated. 24 hours later, the correctional officer, Jessica Celeste, comes back and says, Mustafa threatened me. And he said, he threatened me.
But then none of that matters because the judge.
The point is, the point that I'm trying to make here is they've held exculpatory evidence. That camera inside the jail was supposed to be at 9:30, but they released at 10:30. They don't want to show when the correctional officer went in, beat Mustafa, stepped on his religious items, and I mean, there's a witness.
What are you gonna see? His items being thrown out?
I mean, that's what the witness says. I've got a recording of the internal hearing that took place after the incident. The witness, an inmate across from Mustafa, says that Mustafa never threatened the correctional officer, Instead, the correctional officer beat him and violated his religious items.
And
now,
if he had allegedly threatened this correctional officer, would they give him back his items? Does that make sense?
Exactly.
On video, on the jail video, you can see officers give Mustafa his items back at what, 9:30?
10:15.
At 10:15, you see officers give Mustafa all of his items back.
If he threatened this correctional officer, why would they give him?
Why are you giving back all his items?
Why
did you not write him up that day?
You're claiming that Mustafa says, Jessica Celeste, I know where you live. I'm going to beat my charges. Come out and find you. Are you kidding me? I'm going to beat my charges? You're talking about an individual that got beaten up inside the jail, that got essayed inside the jail, is being denied medical, you're telling me that he's gonna come out, beat his charges, only to
Commit a
only
crime.
to commit a crime and bring him back so they can do that. They can beat him up some more. Make this make sense. Literally, there's a witness that says Mustafa never threatened a correctional officer. Where does Judge Weimer?
Two witnesses.
Two witnesses.
Two witnesses.
What does Judge Weimer do in court during the appeal? He doesn't even want to hear it.
He doesn't want to hear it at all. The judge says, we're not going to hear it.
And then turn around and seal off the body cams.
And then they seal off
I
the
mean,
body.
we wouldn't know that this is happening, that there's a witness, that there's a CCTV video, that there's body cams. I mean, if I didn't have it on a flash drive. I mean, Judge Weimer sealed off all of it.